Hey Soul Tribe, Tracy here, Sweet Spot Magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, donations, everything. Hey sis, we're going to ring the bell. We're going to clear out this energy and then we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us. But before we do that, I want everyone to see what James from James and Biscuit sent. Look at how beautiful this is. It's this owl. Let me show you. It's three-dimensional. I hope everyone can really see and appreciate this like I do. I love this little thing. And James, thank you so very much. Not only that, hey K Hypsee, but he also sent this beautiful necklace. I said I'm going to have to try and make a bracelet to match, but look at the detail. Look at all the different beads, and there's turquoise and everything. I really appreciate this so very much. Thank you so much. Hey, K Hyphy. Hey, Jody. Hey, Misty. Oh, no, Mistyped Creations. That's what it is. Sorry. All right, let's go ahead and ring the bell. The past is coming back on somebody's ass. But they need to keep that same energy they had when you were going through something. Hey, Beatrice. See, somebody laughed at your pain. Somebody laughed when you were going through one of the hardest times in your life. Not only did they laugh, honey, they felt the need to talk about it. Not just a regular talk about it. They talked about it with everybody. They talked from their mouth. They talked from the side of their neck. They talked from the crack of their ass. They was talking. But Spirit said, I'm glad to see that energy that you put out there. Because Spirit said, I want you to keep that same energy. Keep that same laughter. In fact, don't you dare let that smile go nowhere. Because I want to see it every day. Hey, James. How are you? Bottom of the deck. Ooh. Somebody got themselves in a situation they cannot get out of. Uh-oh. See, this was a test for somebody. This was a test for them to see if they could possibly ascend, act mature, especially when it dealt with you. They were supposed to have been able to go above and beyond. But they know it's all fair in love and war, ain't it, baby? They all know that what you put out, you should sit there and wait for that motherfucker to come back. Because it's coming. Somebody, they're going to have to keep that same smile. They need to keep that same energy. Because everything that they thought they had, they used to have. See, somebody should have chose love, but instead they looked around what they had and they said, I'll never be in that type of position. Look at all this stuff I got around me. I'll never be there. I'll never allow myself to get that low. They looked at you like you was trash. You wasn't trash. God was actually blessing you because you were going through a transition. You were going through your awakening. You were growing spiritually. So even though you went through the trudges, the treachery, the heartache, the heartbreak, the pain, you pulled yourself up out the mud, God knew you would. Because God wanted you to see exactly how strong you were. Hey, High Priestess, how are you? Somebody thinks that they can just, kind of, while they're going through, not be in the community. Wait, what? Really? Spirit said, no, you about to be seen. You almost may have your name in lights. Because remember, what you put out there, you gonna get back. See, somebody, they watched you. They watched you weather the storm. You had your umbrella up and you was weathering that storm. But the thing is, you was following God's lead. You was following the spark where God was telling you, okay, now go here. Now pick that rock up. Okay, now take that rock over here. Put it in this rock garden over there. Okay, that's good. Now, you see this? I want you to take this. I want you to put it over there. Whatever you needed to do, whatever God told you to do, you did it. And the whole time somebody was laughing at you because you probably looked a little strange. They was watching you and it was like they're never going to get out of that. Now somebody is experiencing those same burdens, possibly a little bit worse. Now somebody's trying to remember everything that you did. Now they're trying to see what did you do to come up out of that. But that information has been erased. Somebody can't sleep. They worried. They worried. Because once again, they knew that in front of your face, they was like, oh, wow, what? But behind your back, oh, they laughed. They thought that shit was funny. Let me turn this little space heater off. Hold on. They thought that shit was just hilarious. Keep that same energy. Keep that same laughter. Laugh is loud. Louder if you can. Hey, High Priestess. Now, see, all eyes are on you and how much you've built up since then. Maybe you was homeless and now you have a home, your own home. Maybe you didn't have a job, but maybe now you built your own company. Or both. Whatever it was that you didn't have back then that nobody felt the need to help you out with, oh, you got it now. You got that and then some. Now, Spirit said this person gets to explore how courageous they are, the inner workings of their own heart. They get to explore how that really feels. Hey, it's just Robbie. Guess what? Somebody's going to find out exactly what size shoes you wear because they get to walk not just a mile in your shoes. They're going to be walking a long time in your shoes. See, you were somebody that, you know what? You was just dedicated to getting yourself up, bringing yourself up out the mud, you know, and finding a clear path and to find the answers so that you did not have to go back there. Wherever that was, you drew a line in the sand and you said, this is the lowest I'm ever going to go. Hey, Create. And since then, hey, Aisha, how are you? And since then, you've been in your bag. Like I said, you got that information that you needed so that you could know where your starting point was. This other person, they're finding out that they actually don't have the strength that they thought that they had. You know, they looked at what they had on the outside and they thought that they'll never be in that place that you were at. See, the difference between you and them is you had courage. You had heart. Them, they thought that all this stuff that they had defined them. And now somebody's making a wish. More so making a wish, they're praying. They're praying that, you know, people see them as still abiding, upstanding, that they see them as you know, somebody that should be honored and respected. Really, it's time for this person to seek some guidance. Like I said, it's time for this person to look at the own inner workings of their own heart. Hey, Diane, how are you? Hey, K Hypsee. This person is going to be experiencing some grief for a long time. Whereas what you went through, you're over that. You've already crossed that finish line and you're going on to bigger and better. You were able to work on yourself and fill your own cup. Hey, J. Mike. Hey, Anthony. And this person now, like, okay, I'm back. Yeah, and I saw that the chat had disconnected. I was like, oh no. But we're back. All right, so yeah, where we left off was somebody can see that, you know, you're on your grind and you're living. You're living some. You're living a little. You're not going hog wild or anything, but you know, you are able to afford whatever it is that you want. You're not living above your means, but now it's this time for somebody else to have to clean up their self, just like you had to clean up yours. This is divine timing because as you were on your way up, they are on their way down. Somebody's daydreaming. You know, they are not just daydreaming, they're thinking. They're thinking about, you know, how they're going to go on vacation, you know, how they're going to have this brand new, fresh start. Someone is thinking about this life that, you know, they're about to have. And somebody, they did a lot of studying, like they were studying for something, you know, and they spent a lot of time by themselves. But the thing is, you also spend a lot of time by yourself. And while they were studying for something else that was on the outside of them, you were studying and how you can make yourself better from the inside so that you can help that inner child. Whatever you're creating, it's building momentum. And somebody else, whatever they were doing, they were just spending a lot of outward energy, getting with different people, breaking different hearts, collecting, notches on the bedpost. And then they had nerve to compare themselves to you. See, they spent their energy doing the wrong thing. They should have been working on themselves, not trying to figure out how they was going to get somebody else in the bed, get in their pocket, fuck with their head, or whatever. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? They feeling it because they know that they brought this on themselves. They sure did. In fact, now that they brought this on themselves, now that they are losing everything, nobody want to even be bothered with them anymore. Nobody wants to give them no sexy time. And see, they're realizing that instead of them trying to laugh at you and your pain, they should have just grew up. They should have bossed up when the situation called for and helped you out. Now they see the bigger picture. But before, they didn't care. They didn't care. They was like, I'll never let myself get in that position. I'll never stoop so low. I'll never this. I'll never that. Let this person tell it. They felt like they was so blessed, like God was going to give them whatever they wanted for the rest of their life, only to find out that was not so. He giveth and he taketh away. And right now, God taketh away. This person feels like they are losing their mind. And they could be. They feel like they losing it. Besides their earthly stuff, besides their position in the community, besides their how they feel about themselves, their confidence, they feel like they're losing everything. And right now, somebody is smack dab in the middle of their feelings, their emotions. They're trying to figure out, how did they get here? In fact, they don't even want to go out anymore. They want to spend all their time alone. That's weird. Because whenever you were going through yours, they was out in the community popping bottles, sipping champagne, telling everybody, you know what happened to Joe? Let me tell you, Joe lost everything. I saw his ass and sitting on the side of the curb with a sign. And I saw there was a puddle. And I waited till Joe was sitting by that puddle. And that's whenever I took my car and was like, whoosh, and all that water came up on him. He don't know it was me because I was going too fast. Ain't that something? See, this is whenever Spirit said, oh, let me bring you back down to reality. Let me let you know that you know what, you acting just like a child. And sometimes children need to be punished. So somebody's getting ready to be punished. Hey, Galactic Goddess, how are you? What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Thank you. Yeah, this person, they're trying to find a way out. They're looking for answers because they want to find a way out of this, and they don't know what the hell is going on, but they know that there's got to be a way. This person is trying to keep themselves up. They're trying to keep themselves motivated. They're trying to, keep themselves being able to continue to go, but they're not really sure if they can. I even feel like this person is they have no choice but to look on their cell phones for a job. because that computer that they had at home, oh, that shit is gone. In fact, a lot of those things that they had at home, that shit is gone. It's like they had to, I feel like somebody had to sell a lot of their assets just so that they could eat. Just like you may have had to. What's the message? What's the message? Anything else from this deck? This person feels so burdened. And they are going to be laying right there. They're lucky that they still have a bed to lay in right now. And it's so disorganized. And look in that room. They got clothes and shit everywhere. Because this person is really going through a depression because they know that they're stuck. There's nothing they can do except take it. That's it. I feel like they were trying to do some work on their home, but like they didn't have the money or something, or maybe they were trying to find a roommate and nobody was interested in renting a room. But whatever it is, somebody is by themselves right now, and it's like spirit is forcing them to look at themselves. Look at who they have actually become. Spirit is asking them, is this who you want to be? Is this the type of person that you want to represent yourself to be? Because they're losing everything. They're losing everything. Spirit is going to, when you say break them down, they're going to be broken down. They're going to feel that same pain that you felt when they laughed at you. It was funny back then. Just as funny as it is now. Ton of voices. They stabbed themselves in the back. They didn't need anyone else to help them. And now they're sitting here thinking about you when they stabbed you in the back too. See, they're thinking about how they had the resources to help you, but they chose not to. Hi, Melissa. Hey, Nurse Oasis. Hello, Malcolm. They chose not to. And so the same way that those people or that person turned their back on you, it's only fair that everybody's turning their back on this person too. The same way that this person, they were immature, they didn't care how they treated you, they're receiving the same. That Wheel of Fortune is coming right back around. But this time it's their turn, not your turn. And now somebody wants to be all in their feelings. Now they want to be all hurt. Now they can't sleep. What do? They should have thought about it when they was laughing at you. This person is so stressed because they didn't think that all this negative shit that they was doing under the moon was going to come back on them. It's coming back on them times 10. And 10 is one hell of a multiplier. Because if you have $100 and somebody says, I'm going to give you that $100 back times 10, you got some good money coming. Even if it's just $5 and they multiply it by 10, at least now you got $50. Same with that karma. Same with that laughter at your pain. That 10 is one hell of a multiplier. I feel like this person is being ghosted by all those friends. all those dogs, all these my buddies, these my road dogs, these my ace boom coons. They don't have no ace boom coons now. They ain't got no friends. Because when you broke like a joke, don't nobody know you. Nobody. I see they're watching you. You know, like I said, you was a leader. You was somebody that stood out from the crowd. You know, you was about your business. You didn't sit there and even though this person laughed at you, even though this person laughed at your pain, laughed at each tear that you was crying, went behind your back and talked about you like a fucking dog and celebrated your misery. This person is now finding out that what they did was so damn wrong. You know, now they're feeling the repercussions of their actions. Now they want to sit here and try and make amends. Get your broke ass the fuck on the way from here, because you ain't got nothing now. See, they're looking at you and they see the spirit gave you everything that you could possibly want, everything that you could possibly need, because you was a real person. You maintained that faith. You maintained dignity. Even whenever you didn't have, you still helped people who had less than you, because you still understood what it was like not to have. Somebody's trying to make plans to see if they can talk with you, if they can possibly explain something to you, if you could possibly give them a helping hand. But they're not sure. They're confused. They're not sure that you're going to do it, because somebody's going to be like, well, wait, when I was going through, didn't you say you didn't have it? Ain't that what you did? Even though you had it? Something about what this person said, you know, something about this person said they would never be in this position, you know. But now it's that something about the giving and receiving. They didn't give. And now it's their time not to receive. The truth about how this person acted is out. They can't deceive anybody, because people remember them calling people. Hey, did you know that Roger is now officially homeless? Yes, him and his dumb ass. I don't know what the fuck he was doing with his money, but I was like, you know what, Roger? Hell no, I ain't helping your dumb ass. You should have been thinking about that when you saw yourself going down. I ain't left his ass out in the street. Fuck it. It's 14 degrees out there. He better set camp up over one of them little vents in the street that's blowing warm air. I don't know what the fuck he gonna do. But shit, I gotta get off this phone. Yeah, I got all 5 bedrooms to clean. This house is more than I should have got, but I got it anyway. Yeah, I'll holler at you later. See, somebody was sitting there gossiping, bragging, communicating, saying all this, all that. Like I said, talking out their mouth, the side of their neck, the crack of their ass, everything. Now they don't want to talk so much. Now they don't want to say too much. Hey, Donna, how are you? Hi, Melissa. Oh, I think I spoke to Melissa already. Sorry, y'all. You know, somebody was just being they thought they was, they thought that they had their shit together. This is somebody who thinks that they some type of wizard, a master manipulator. Like I can do anything. I can create anything. And this is why they was talking about you, gossiping about you, spreading lies about you, rumors about you, and then even going around telling people that you was doing anything strange for just a little bit of pocket change. They're like, hey, you need to be blown. If you got $2, she'll blow you. Hey, I'll get them to do that. Yeah, I'll get them to clean that entire garage. I know it's stacked to the hilt, and you have problems closing the fucking doors. Give him $5. Let him sleep his ass in the fucking garage at night. By the morning, I guarantee he's gonna be so happy that he ain't have to sleep on the street. That entire garage gonna be cleaned out. Cause they thought that they was playing you like a fool. They was playing you like somebody could play you like a fucking fiddle. They just didn't know God was setting you up for greatness, not destroying you. This person has to realize God is taking them down to humble them, to teach that fucking ass a lesson, to help that ass grow the fuck up, and to make sure that that person never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, never, ever laughs at anybody again. In fact, this motherfucker, it's going to take them to watch. It's going to take them a while to be able to watch comedy and laugh again. Because this motherfucker, when they finish with that shit, oh, they're going to be all the way straight and all the way serious. You hear me? You dig? Even Spirit is leaving this person. Spirit said, no, I'm going to let you be on that street alone for a while. I'm going to let you see how it is, how easy it is. You know, and this person thinks that they thought that they was going to get some type of job offer. These people said, no, we decided that we're not going to. It's something what the person did or said, or maybe in their background, they saw that was not the person that they wanted to work with. This company said, no, we good. Thank you. And that's whenever this person finally woke up to the fact that, oh shit, my shit is getting fucked up fast. They ain't got nothing. That's when this person all of a sudden wants to sit here and pray. All of a sudden wants to pray to God. And God was like, hey, remember whenever you called my truth teller a fool? Remember whenever you was saying this and saying that? Remember whenever you was sitting there saying, fuck them. You know, they stupid anyway. I said, I'm gonna leave you right there. I'm gonna leave you right there. I'm gonna let the devil handle you any way that the devil wants, because you're gonna learn today. Hey, the soul archetype. Hey, Marcia, how are you? Yeah, see, your life was being balanced out. And it's a difference, the perception. Had this person actually looked at what you were doing, or looked at what you were going through, or even helped you, even a little bit, their life would have been balanced out, because it was a test. But see, this person chose to flunk their test. They wanted your life to be out of control. They chose to turn a blind eye on you and your situation. And now they're looking at you, and you don't need them. You don't need anybody's assistance or help. You got the game and you go on with it. Not only that, but God is blessing you with everything that you could possibly need. In fact, it was your ancestors that was here helping you cross that bridge, helping you get that job, helping you increase your finances, helping you with that new home, helping you with that new life. And now this person is sitting here looking stuck on stupid, because they were sitting there bad-mouthing you, talking about you, saying that you didn't even deserve anything. You didn't even deserve to be happy. You didn't deserve no warm place to lay your head. You didn't deserve to be safe. It was all in this person's ego. They felt like they was king of the jungle. Like their shit just did not stink. And no matter what they did, they was never going to put themselves in a position. They'll never get that low. They'll never. The Spirit said, never say never. You know, they fooled themselves to think that when they got to be a certain level of lowness, that people were not going to come in and try and do the same thing to them that they did to you. See, all that shit that they put out there, all that shit is coming back in. This shit is dropping like dominoes. And guess what? People are having these actions against them, stealing from them, you know, trying to hold them back, trying to give them these obstacles, these impossible tests to pass, and this, that, and the other. Everybody's doing the same thing to them that they chose to do to you. Now what they want is somebody that loves them. Now they want is somebody that cares. Because all that magic that they was doing to you happened to be coming right back around. And guess what? The world is going to see them crumble. And the world is going to know them by their works. This King of Cups, all in his feelings, trying to figure out how did he miss the mark? What was it that he didn't see? And then on top of that, lying about how independent you were. This person lied and said that they had to carry you, that they had to pay this for you. I'm tired of paying their bills. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing that. Oh, they're getting on my last nerve. Spirit said, say less, motherfucker. Say less. Now this person is trying to fight for everything they have, and they thought everything that they was going to invest in was working. No, ain't shit working out for that ass. Their math ain't mathing, and they have to be there to protect themselves, to stand alone, to fight on their own, just like you did. See, you learned the lesson. You listen to Spirit, and that's why you move forward to the head of the class. This person even tried to pit you against somebody else. Wanted you to feel like you wasn't good enough, like you didn't measure up. They even put somebody else over you. Somebody else, now that they hate that they did this, because now them and that person are constantly fighting, constantly arguing. In fact, it's this person that had them going downhill fast without any brakes and no shoes on. So you know, if the bike is going way downhill fast, you ain't got no shoes or no socks, you're not trying to stop that bike with the soles of your feet. Because by the time you pick your feet up, they're going to be bloody. Somebody thought that they was about to get this job. That job said, well, we are going to reconsider. We're going to reconsider. We aren't hiring at this time anymore. We changed our minds, only to find out that they changed their mind about them. And they hired somebody else. Now somebody's sitting there looking stupid because all they had to do was choose you. All they had to do was choose you. But they didn't want to. In fact, they even went so far as to disrespect you, as if you didn't even deserve any respect. Here you are. It was back then you was just an empress in making. And now you're a full empress, but this person didn't even recognize that you was an empress in making. They made it sound like your area code was 304. Now, after all this time, they want to come and apologize to you because they in regret, they depressed, and their money is looking real funny. Not ha-ha funny, but funny. In fact, they don't even have enough money to pay their bills. They're not even sure if they can even stay in that place. And everybody that they worked with, everybody that they thought was going to be there for them is now trying to support you because they recognize that you're the star. You're the only one that had what it took to get through that muck and that mire. They thought they would never be in that position. It'll never be me. I ain't never gonna let myself never say never. Now this is the one who's sitting here crying because the Wheel of Fortune is out of their favor. They did all that talking about you. And now here they are worried that everybody and their brother is talking about them. They thought all those little games was funny, and now they're the one that gets the games. Keep that same energy. Keep that same smile. Keep that same laughter. Because you're going to need it. However long this takes. However long this shit takes. What's the message, Spirit? Don't ever, ever, ever laugh at anyone else's pain. That's not just a sin. That's a fucking cardinal sin. And they laughed at this Queen of Cups pain. This is somebody who was helping them. This is somebody who was supportive of them, compassionate, kind, had empathy. This is somebody that went above and beyond to make sure that they had. And all they did was stab this person in the back over and over and over again. But that's okay. Because now they get to feel how them 10 swords feel. They didn't realize this was a test. God was testing them, not you. God was clearing the way for you. God was taking you to calmer waters, and God knew that God had to get rid of all that other bullshit that you thought was important so that God could show you what is truly important, and you let it all go. You didn't care about it. It wasn't important. What was important was your connection with God, that you ate, that you had a safe place to sleep, that you could get from point A to point B, whether that meant, you had to walk, take the bus, take the train, or you had a car, whether it was a hoopty or whatever, that you could get from point A to point B. Hey, Shaylin. Hey, Deborah. You knew what was important. And it wasn't the fact that, hey, Kathleen, it wasn't the fact that, somebody, the entire community was looking at you as if, okay, well, the king has lost everything, but he is still the king. That's not how that looks. That's not how that goes. That's not how anybody says that shit. They're like, damn, this motherfucker was up here. Now this motherfucker's on the street begging. But he was just laughing at Helen over here because she was homeless. Remember when she was homeless and how he was going around talking about how she was homeless and she deserved that shit? Now it's his turn. He deserves it too. Yeah, somebody, they it's like they fighting with somebody over some money, you know. And in fact, they may have been fighting over somebody about some money, only to find out that that money wasn't there. And so now this person, and like they even got left. And everybody knows the truth. The truth is that you know what, they were left because of how they acted. They acted like a fucking fool. How they was trying to fool you, fool everybody else. But now somebody's awakening to how foolish they really were and how they get injustice, but not the type that they thought they was going to get. See, they thought that the gold wagon chariot was going to come with the horses, and they was going to step on it, stand on it, and the crowd was going to be cheering, and they would just do the parade wave as they would go by their lowly subjects. That's not it. This motherfucker waking up from having to sleep in a fucking abandoned car in some type of what do they call them places? Not a graveyard, but where they take the cars to die and shit like that. Junkyard. They're sleeping in an abandoned car in some fucking junkyard, trying to survive. They tired of eating canned beans that they had to heat up with a little Bic lighter, but that's all they got. So they can't even complain about that. All they're doing is trying to remember what it was like yesterday whenever they had all this shit. Now they ain't got shit. And they remember the things that they used to, how they treated you. Like you wasn't even worth shit. How they came up against you. How they laughed at you. How they acted so immature to you. What a difference a day makes. And this person may not even be able to ever recover financially. Ever. And that same person that they left you for, that they ditched you for, is now looking at them from afar like, I don't want to be part of that shit. Get away from me. I'm sorry. You smell funny. When was the last time your ass took a shower? You like, well, that person is like, well, shit, I don't have a shower to take a shower. They're like, well, get your little stanky ass on. Get your stinky ass on. See, this person been praying for your downfall for a while. They've been praying for your downfall for a while. They've been your secret enemy for so long. And finally, God said, I'm so tired of you and your silly ass. I'm going to show you what time it is. I'm going to show you what time it is. That opportunity that you had for a job, the job that you have been wanting for such a long time, they're going to reconsider. They're going to decide, you're not the one, because they did some investigation, and something in your background came back and said, no, we thought this was the best choice, but no, we reconsider. Something in that background came back. That's too damn bad, ain't it? What's the message? Plus, it's almost like that somebody was sitting there saying, well, I don't know if you really want to hire this person, because don't mark my words, but what I heard, word on the street is, don't tell him I said, shh, just between me and you. Somebody was gossiping about this motherfucker. The same way that this person gossiped about you. Ain't that something? The same way they gossiped about you, somebody was gossiping about them. Yeah. So something in that background check for that opportunity came back as a no-go. And they had to put their glasses on to look at that shit. They was like, oh, okay, we thought this was the best person for the job, but maybe not. Because we see that this person possibly did something that we don't agree with that goes against our company standards. Maybe this person put some gossipy shit on their Facebook page or something talking about yeah, well, you know what? You see that picture? I just took a picture of Sally as I was driving by and got that bitch all wet with that mud water from the puddle and shit. This is what it looked like whenever you fucked up. And I took the picture and put it on my Facebook page and my social media page. And fresh from a nap, goodbye. We don't like your energy here. Yeah, let's see. I don't know who that person is, but apparently he must be the one who's getting this karma. Because this video, and some other videos, he got all the negative shit to say. So this fresh from a nap must be a karmic. You must be a fucking karmic. Well, if that's the case, enjoy that karmic. Don't nobody give a shit about you. Yeah. See, they was watching somebody. They noticed something that somebody had said or did or put out there. And like I said, they put their glasses on to see that shit. They put their glasses on. And just when somebody thought that they was getting the best paying job, they was going to be, I'm rich, bitch. Nope. Here come opposition. They're like, no, you ain't getting shit. That position that they thought they was going to have, they are so sad because that company said goodbye. And they didn't have no backup plan. None. Nothing. Yeah. And so the truth of what they did, of who they actually are as a person, came out. All because somebody didn't want to help you. All because somebody didn't want to help you. Because they felt like they didn't need anything. They had their money together at that point. They had all they could possibly need. But I'm going to tell you something. That World Wide Web, that's a motherfucker. That's when people can see what you're putting out there. And they put out there about this relationship. They just didn't know that somebody that was working at this company, the hiring manager, HR, knew you and was fond of you and had watched you pick yourself up from the fucking mud and got yourself together, and your life has taken off. And since then, that's like that person, that person sat there and watched that shit and was like, you know what? And then it's funny how life is, because you never know who knows who, you know? See, you could be somebody's favorite person because this person sees how hard you worked, what you went through, and how you kept yourself uplifted. Not only did you keep yourself uplifted, how you helped other people when you didn't even have, and how you kept those people uplifted. So in their eyes, there's nobody better than you. But yet they happen to run across that one motherfucker that was talking bad about you. And it was just that one motherfucker. We'll call this motherfucker fresh from a nap. They came across that one motherfucker that had something negative to say about you. And they don't even know what the fuck happened. All they know is they are upset. They regret everything that they said, everything that they did. Because they didn't know. They don't know who knew you. You see? At that same company they was trying to get hired at, for that same money, they didn't know who knew you. And this person didn't care. Didn't like the fact that this person was against you. Didn't like the fact that somebody laughed at your pain. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yes. Somebody thought their dreams were coming true until somebody with them glasses put them glasses on and said, "Oh, no, not you." They put that resume in file 13 and then press the little shredder button. That shit was gone. Now this person understands that, you know what? They did a little bit too much laughing at you. They did a little bit too much. Now it's them that's that's crying those tears. It used to be you, but now it's them that's crying those tears. Hey, Magic Diva, how are you, sweetie? Well, I hope they can make it through. I hope they are as strong. You know, because like that's what I'm saying. Who laughs at somebody else's pain? Who does that? Yes, everything came full circle. See, this person, they had a decision to make. All they had to do was think about, you know what? If it was me, what would I want somebody to do? I would want somebody to help me. All they had to do was decide that they would work with you, that they would give you an opportunity. Hey, you know what? I don't have no extra bedroom, but I got a couch. You can couch surf, couch surf for a couple of months. There's a store right up the street that they got a sign. They got a help wanted sign. They've been having that sign in the window for months. I know the owner. We can go up there tomorrow. You can get you a job there, because the owner's always asking me if I know anybody. You can get you a job there, and it's a half a block up the street. Work there, get you some money, get on your feet. But see, that person didn't want that. They wanted to see you down. They wanted to drive by and see your clothes dirty and shit. They wanted to see you in pain. But instead, now this person sees that they should have had some compassion. Then they want to walk around like they don't want to be seen. They don't want nobody to see them. Oh, please, as they're going through, because the Wheel of Fortune is not in their favor, baby. And the Hierophant is like, stability? Huh? You? No, not you. The one that you laughed at, yes. See, that person was wise, and they knew they shouldn't have did it, but they did it anyway. They allowed themselves to be suckered by the devil, because the devil knew. This person, now they look back and they realize they acted like a fool, a straight up clown. Straight up. They was acting like they was 4th, 5th, 6th grade, something. They thought that they could deceive you. But you knew. Like I said, they was, oh my gosh, I hate to hear that. If I won the lottery, I would take care of all of your bills. You knew that shit was a lie when they were saying it. But you didn't do anything. You just kept moving along. You knew that this person was sitting here praying for your downfall. You knew they was trying to send out spells that you never recovered. And that's why judgment is coming back with a passion on that ass. They have something to answer to. This person They know they're going to have to be strong. They're going to have to be strong trying to get through what you had to get through. Now somebody want you to be like nurturing and to all of a sudden, oh, well, I know that that's an earth angel. I know that they have a soft heart. Yes, sure in the hell do. But not for you, fresh from an app. See, you get to celebrate, you get to enjoy life. And that other person, they are so overburdened and they get to explore that. They get to explore all the pain, the misery, the sleepless nights, the heartache, the heartbreak. They get to experience the no's, everywhere they go. No, no, no. The closed doors, the unanswered calls, the unanswered messages, the unanswered texts. That's what they get to go through. And it's going to be a while. Spirit said it is going to be a while. I'm telling you, somebody thought that they was getting ready to get the job of a lifetime. That shit was removed from the table so fast. So fast. And here they are watching you get this fulfillment of a new opportunity, which is going to bring you straight into prosperity, baby. Hey, Roy, how are you? I love you more. Hey, Nurse Oasis. Hey, Marcinda. Hey, Marcinda, how are you? Yeah. Not only that, but you know what? Spirit is about to bless you with a partnership. Somebody that you work well together. This is what you deserve. This is what you deserve. And I'm telling you, this is coming fast. This is like, and that partnership could be, a job opportunity, but it's going to be something that works well for you. And Spirit is moving this fast. This new opportunity is coming fast. Yes. And you is like going to be in your money, in your bag. Because you know what? You had to exercise some strength throughout this entire time. And no matter what it was that you was going through, you always told the truth. Always told the truth. Let's turn that little light on. And even whenever somebody tried to offer you something, you didn't just jump because you weren't desperate, you weren't thirsty. You exercised logic and caution. And this person, the whole time, all they could see was you losing everything. Look at that smirk on their face. They wanted you to lose everything. But you know what? One thing they forgot to think about, one thing they forgot to dream about, what if it was them? What if it was them? Everything is out in the open, and now this person is experiencing this tower. And everybody knows why this person's going through this tower. Because they had nothing good to say about you. Nothing at all. And so this hardship, this is and somebody's going to be there for a while. They're not going to be able to move from past this for a while. Just long enough to give them an opportunity to see what it was that they wished on you. To experience that, to feel that, to truly feel that. To understand the implication, the ramifications of their actions. To understand, that it's not ever a good thing at all to laugh at somebody else's pain. This person even laughed in your face before with a little smirk, when you told them what was going on with your, something that was so heartfelt and hurting, and they's like, with a fucking little smirk. And they's like, well, I'm just trying to lighten the situation, not with my pain, motherfucker. Somebody, I feel like, you know what? They got a dream and they getting the message. They're getting a message about where they better protect their money, and they better spend wisely. They better not just go out there and blow it because they don't know what's going to come tomorrow. This person, they got that dream that said, you know what? Because of this one action, you're going to be stuck for a while with nowhere to go. Now that this person understands the importance of being diplomatic, of having someone else's feelings into consideration, not just their own. Now someone understands it's never cool to be an asshole and a butt wipe all in the same damn thing. This person, they don't know if they're going to be able to get out of this. They don't think they're going to be able to make it through. And I'll tell you one thing, they may not. Because it's like I feel like this person is really sick at this point. And they know it's close. Their end is close. And see, karma never loses an address. She don't forget a face. She don't forget a name. She don't forget a time. And she sure the fuck don't forget what the fuck you did. So if you want karma to be nice to you, you have to be nice to everybody else. But if you don't give a shit, go ahead and make them choices. Because in the end, we all get justice. We get just as we deserve. Somebody celebrated too soon. They caused you conflict and they celebrated too soon. They not only did they cause you conflict, they were part of the conflict within your own house, within your own home. And then acted like they didn't care, like they didn't know anything, like, oh, I don't see nothing. I don't really notice nothing. Knowing the fact that they were part of the reason that you were in that situation, period. But that's okay, because God needed to test your strength. Hold on, let me turn this light on. It's getting dark. God needed to test your strength. God needed to test your gangster to make sure that you knew, because God already knew, but make sure that you knew that you could do this, that you knew that you was that empress. And now that shifty motherfucker, the one who thought that they had all the tricks, that they would never be in that situation, they're sitting here wondering if it was worth it. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? I'm telling you, God's getting ready to bless you with a new love. Somebody who gets you, someone that supports you, someone that's not going to laugh at your pain, someone that's going to uplift you, someone that's going to protect you, someone that's going to balance you out. Somebody that's an emperor, somebody that's already mature. And I'm telling you, with this 10 of Cups and this 6 of Pentacles, y'all are going to complete each other. Seriously. Now somebody, they're watching you on the internet. And they're thinking about these swords that they put in your back as they watch you climb, as they watch you happy, as they watch you laugh, not at them, but at some shit that's funny. And this person is in fear because they know that they're getting what they deserve. This transition, not only are they getting what they deserve, but they know that the time is close for them to transition out of here. And they're not doing it in style like they thought. They're not going to be able to call their bank on their last breath and be like, what is my account balance? Because they know they ain't going to have shit up in there. The bank is going to be like, sir, ma'am, we don't have no account number like that. We closed that shit years ago. What the fuck do you really want? Are you on the street? I can't tell, but it sounds like you smell. See, never laugh at somebody else's pain. Never laugh at somebody else's pain. Even if you think that they deserve it, it's not for you to ever do that. Because God, like I said, God will give it and he will take that shit right the fuck away. I thought I saw a card flip. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? All because somebody practiced to deceive. What a web they was weaving. And all they had to do was make a decision to, instead of try and hold you down, they just had to make a decision to try and help you out with the Six of Swords. That was it. Not drive the swords deeper in your back. Not try and talk about everybody and point out, what was going on in your life. It's nobody's business what was going on in your life. But yet this person, they felt like they was getting one up. They was proving a point because they was already talking about you. They was already dogging you. They was already acting like they was ignorant. An ignorant asshole, butthole, asswipe, if that's even possible. What's the message? What's the message? Anything else from this stack? Yeah, it's over for this person. It is over for this person. Any opportunity, any prosperity, and they cannot even defend themselves. They can't. They can't even defend themselves. They have no defense. See, they used to have a title or status. But because of what they did, they will forever hold a spiritual stain. And once again, they know that they lost that opportunity and they're mad because they didn't realize people love you. People are inspired by what you do. People are inspired by how you did it. You had only yourself to depend on. There was nobody else that was like, well, let me go ahead and give this. No, you had people that was closing the doors, not answering the phone, not answering texts, not responding to emails, none of that. So you had to figure it out on your own. And now this person is going to have to figure it out on their own. And they don't even feel like they're strong enough because guess what? They're not. They're going to find out how strong you actually are. They're going to find out the hard way that you know how intelligent you are. This could be coming in January that they're about to experience this tower. See, this could have been a child of yours. This child is confused. They're going to experience all of that shit that they talk bad about you. What else, Spirit? What else? And they have the nerve and the audacity to be afraid of the demons that they summoned. How dare them? I'm telling you, the world is mad at this liar for how they treated you. That's why nobody wants to help them. Because they was like, well, you remember when Helen was going through this, right? Remember what you said about her? Remember how you treated her? Remember you had all that space and you was complaining about the size of your house, but you didn't have no space for her? Now that somebody else don't have anything, they finally waking the fuck up. What's the message? They have to make it make sense. Make it make sense. And their life is ruined. They thought that they had some money tree in the back of their yard. That shit is dried up. That shit is dead. Like I said, everybody's leaving them on red. Ain't nobody responding to them because everybody can see exactly what they did. Ain't nobody supporting their ignorance. You know, they said somebody's like, oh, can I get some help? They're telling everybody, let's not, but act like we did. They know their shit is falling down fast. You know, and they were doing rituals on you often. Their ass is having an ego death. And they had money to spare, but they agreed to not tell you about the money. They was like, yeah, I got it, but I ain't giving it to them. I don't know what they gonna do with it. I don't know. Somebody was like, well, why don't you just, get there? If you don't want them to stay with you, why don't you just rent them a little studio apartment for a couple months? Since you got the money, I ain't doing shit. I ain't doing a fucking thing to help them. I don't give a shit about them. But I know I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to spread dirt on their name. I'm going to tell everybody about what the fuck they're going through. I'm going to tell everybody, see, I told you that person wasn't going to amount to shit. They just didn't know they was being tested. And your ancestors are handling that ass. They need to believe that. Because the lies that they told about you are now exposed, especially while they're going through the same shit. Same shit. Their lies are exposed. They can't cover their shit up if they wanted to. Because the proof is in the pudding, baby. You dig? The proof is in the motherfucking pudding. They are seen by the fruits of their labor. All right, enjoy, K-Hypsee. See, somebody was trying to impersonate you. Hey, Latasha. That's why people are leaving them to their own devices. Them not helping you, them not extending the hand, the helping hand. See, God blessed them with a lot. And the reason that God blessed them with a lot was so that they could help others that were in need. Because as long as they helped others that were in need, God will continue to bless them over and over and over and over again. But they changed their own destiny when they refused. I don't know. Okay, it looks like we back. They changed their own destiny when they refused to help you. They did not know that you was a star seed. And that God has something so much better for you. They didn't realize that you're an earth angel. And it's your energy it's your energy to keep them afloat. And your prayers. Just by helping you would have had a prayer for them forever. And they would have always been up. But now they walking around looking like a whole fucking clown. This could have happened 10 years ago. But it don't make a difference. Because like I said, karma don't ever lose an address. Right now, everybody's telling them, oh, you should just pray. You should pray. Just like they told you. And you did. But see, the difference between your prayers and their prayers is yours were answered. Theirs are going to go unanswered. Because, see, you have your ancestors' protection. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. Sasha is in the backyard. I can hear her start to cry and whine because it's getting a little dark out there. I think she's afraid of the dark. So I'm going to go get her. All right. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. And also, I just want to thank again, Brian. Let me show you this beautiful necklace. I appreciate this. And let me show you this wonderful, hold on. I absolutely appreciate this. Thank you so very much, James and Biscuit. Y'all are always in my prayers. All right. Thank you. I might be back tonight. I'm not sure. Just depends. I love y'all.